You've been labelled a serial pest, a notorious self-promoter, creative genius and the world's best ambush marketer.
By some pretty interesting people.
Was that the intended result when you started out?
World's best ambush marketer, that's a good one. Notorious self-promoter. Hey, if you don't talk about yourself, no one else is going to talk about you. Look, I didn't go into business to get those mantles, but I'm happy that people are talking about me. A lot of business people are frightened, or we don't want to be talked about. I love it. I love that I'm talking to you here and talking to your audience. That's got to be good for business in any person's mind.
So when you've had your first idea for an ambush marketing campaign, was it just a brainwave, or was there a strategy behind it?
There's no strategy. It's just, I have no marketing budget. I'm starting out in my business. I want to get my name out there. I want people to know messages on hold, so that when I do ring them, or when one of my salespeople hands them a brochure, they go, "Oh, I know your company." And that's a big hurdle to get over. Do I know your company? So yeah, our first ambush marketing stunt was a hopeless one at the '91 Eagles grand final in Melbourne against Hawthorn. And I paid a kid to hold a sign over the boundary line. Completely wrong position, but it was in front of where I was sitting, and I thought, I just pay this kid $5 or $10. So anyway, next year, the '92 I think it was, we started doing the stuff at the footy, and we had some great exposure, and I worked out the system, and I thought, this is a bit of fun, and people were saying, I saw your logo, and I figured, well, it's obviously working, and it has worked. It's worked for 28 odd years, 26 odd years. And people know us. Oh, you're the people at the footy. You're the ambush marketing people. And you just can't buy that exposure. You look at all the other sponsors at the football or anywhere else, you see them, but you don't really take notice. But when someone's waving a hand behind the goals, it's something as simple as movement, and hey, that shouldn't be there. That's what gets your attention.
So in your opinion, and you may have already answered this, but what would constitute a successful ambush marketing campaign?
You haven't paid much money. You've had huge impact, positively, sometimes negatively, still does you some sort of good, but positive is obviously better. And you could somehow justify or quantify what value you've had out of it. Yeah. And I know the greatest impact we ever had with a stunt was in Melbourne at the Melbourne Cup. And I had a guy, and he walked up behind Tim Gossage in the betting ring 2 minutes before the jump. And he just stood there with this sign right over Tim's shoulder. So the camera squeezes a shot thinking they're going to get rid of him, and all it does is enlarge our logo on the screen. Our phones went wild in the office. People were so offended. You should not do that. And you'll always get negative people. And that's just a byproduct of what you're doing. But when the phone goes crazy like that with negative people, you know you've had a real impact.
Was Richard at Branson ever an inspirer of yours?
Yeah, I like Richard. Yeah. I ambushed him once.
You ambushed him? Oh yes, I do recall saying that now.
Yeah, and I do like the man. I think he's very clever, and he's got longevity. He just keeps going.
Did he inspire any of your ambush ideas?
No. I don't think he did. I'm aware of stuff he's done, but I tell you who inspired me. John 3:16. Do you remember him? You might be a bit too young for this. So this guy had curly hair, colourful rainbow wig, and he would go to all sorts of sports events in America with this T-shirt, John 3:16, which is a passage from the Bible. And he was just out there promoting Jesus big time. In the end, he got completely crazy and ended up in jail. But he's the subject of great documentaries over the years. The Simpsons have even featured him on an episode, so he's become folklore. But he was amazing at getting in television shots. So I probably took a little bit of his modus operandi in what I did.
And what was your most successful marketing campaign since you've been working on this type of strategy?
Look, it would have to be the football, purely because it's been at every single Eagles game, minor round game, since 1992. And if you ever watch an Eagles game, you will see that signage behind the goals. In terms of impact, probably the Melbourne Cup single thing. We've done some amazing stuff, and some stuff that I've been amazed at, where I will ring someone at a cricket game in Bangladesh that I've arranged to go to the cricket, and so you pay for this guy's ticket, and I was having dinner with Murray Rance, the Eagles player, one night at home, and I said, look, I've just got to stop for half an hour, I've got to position this guy. And I remember Murray sitting there being amazed that we're watching this cricket game from India somewhere, or in Asia, I don't know where it was, but I was just moving this guy. No, you're going the wrong way, go left and sit down here. And they couldn't believe it, and that's quite a thrill to be able to do that.